very consistent. And then Munch, he's playing a good old Game & Watch. You know, he picked up a little bit of Ike recently because we've been playing on some like arenas and stuff. And his Ike's actually pretty good, but it looks like we're going to see the tried and true Game & Watch this time.
Yeah, okay, so this is already going to be a really interesting matchup, and I certainly do not blame Munch for going Game & Watch here. You know, certainly if you were going Ike against Joker, I mean, speaking as an Ike main yourself, it's not the best time in the world, is it?
Especially, I mean, he's only just picked up the character, so... Oh, alright.
Okay, so getting things started here already. Munch just taking a kind of a...
Does Munch have the wrong...
Well, that's what I was wondering, but I think we're just going to go off the fact that maybe he does, but we're going to roll with it. We don't know what's going on anymore. Like, but yes, already, you know, Hykonic just doing a really, really good job of just keeping himself patient, keeping himself so outside of that zone of Game Watch, you know, especially Munch going for a lot of these up Bs out of shield, but you know, Hykonic just kind of aware of the matchup, just keeping himself very distant from it, not going to let Game Watch do his thing.
That's it, like Game & Watch can't really do much when you space your moves well against him. You know, he traditionally struggles a lot against swords, but I guess he's struggling against this Joker right now. Can't find a way to get in. I mean, 23% on the board so far.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, you're talking about obviously like Game Watch just struggling against certain, you know, like sword characters, especially something that Game Watch mates do typically, you know, complain about. But Joker especially, you know, while not being a traditional swordie himself, he does have some very, very useful tools which are really annoying for Game Watch, you know, especially things like that Rebels guard, you know, is going to be so potent in this matchup, you know, where essentially you can just throw it out. Game Watch can't really do much about it. You're just going to be slapping into that Rebels guard.
Oh my god. Speaking of just throwing things out, that down there to up smash out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's a traditional confirm from Joker. You know, again, Hykonic taking a very nice lead here and already getting started on the second round. On the verge here of potentially free-stocking in our first game of the stream.
You know how light Game & Watch is. Can't relax right now. You know, if I'm Munch, I'm starting to think of game 2, you know, I'm thinking, what's going to happen? Like, what can I do to get in this Joker? Because this has just not been the match that he wanted to see.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, obviously, Game Watch certainly a character that can make these kind of comebacks. But right now, yeah, as you say, I think Munch is thinking towards that game too. Like, what changes can I make? Because Hykonic has just been all over here from the start. Okay.
Oh, what's going on
We're
here?
not sure if that, maybe there's a...
Did someone like this?
Was there a disconnect?
Okay, and Munch is just... What happened?
Right, I have just heard, so it looks like Munch did have the wrong controls. However, I think in those sort of situations, that would still be Game 1's Hykonic. Because I mean, they essentially... Yeah, and I'm one killed as well from over there. Okay. It does seem like, yeah, that was Game 1's Hykonic. Especially as you have just essentially played out the entire game as well, you know, you've got to...
Yeah. Could you imagine if it was like, I got the wrong controls, let's run it back from the start.
Yeah, that's the thing, unfortunately you just cannot do that, so yeah, we just had confirmation from the TO as well. That was game 1, so that was game 1 to Hykonic.
Right.
Munch, but now just obviously going in, changing the controls, making sure it's all right. We had a feeling maybe they weren't correct at the start, but...
Yeah, I looked at that name and I was like, maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was still their tag, but I think they just had the wrong controls. Maybe. Okay. We'll see. But either way, Hykonic taking a very, very convincing game 1 there. May or may not be in part due to Munch having those different controls. That's what we're about to find out.
Yeah, this is a best of 3. I assume these
are yes, best of 3 until later, I believe. I think maybe even until Pro Bracket, we're not sure.
Yeah.
But there you go, yeah, you can see that. Okay. Not only did Munch have the wrong controls, he had the wrong tag as well. So
that's never good, is it?
Unfortunately, this is the sort of thing you gotta check.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Right.
Okay. Well, we'll see if the controls will help out in any way.
Yeah, so here we go then, game 2. This is going to be an interesting one to see how much it does actually impact things. Or if this is going to be just a convincing game 2 from Hykonic as well. Obviously, still held in that one game up, even outside of controller issues. I mean, already jam. It's not a really good start here. Oh, they're just juggling Game Watch up in the air, keeping his distance as well, using those guns as well, just to really just tack on a little bit more damage while keeping himself nice and distant.
It like stops you from what you're doing as well, doesn't it? So, And this is kind of having reflections of the first game where Munch really didn't have an answer for what Hykonic is doing. Hard. I mean, oh, okay, we're getting something started though.
Yeah, and I absolutely. This is what I was talking about during game 1 that we didn't actually see too much of. But Hykonic using that Rebels guard there, just to sap up all of those hits that Game Watch was throwing out there. And then, even though yes, he took an up smash at the end of it, at that point he already had an Arsene. You know, and so as soon as that comes out, that is a big problem. But all that said, as you saw there,
surviving the Arsene.
Yes, not only surviving Arsene, but actually just using those up airs just to keep Hykonic away and deplete that Rebels gauge there, so that Arsene not only wasn't an issue, but then just disappeared entirely, almost as quickly as it appeared.
I can't believe that up tilt killed. I didn't know that was a hit. But you think Arsene's coming back? You have to get rid of it stock quick.
Yeah, this is actually a big moment for Munch here. He wants to get rid of his stock before Arsene can come out. But you can see that gauge slowly going up. Sooner or later, Arsene's going to come out. A big up smash there, so close to connecting. I was really feeling it, but finally Munch does find the stock. Just breathing a sigh of relief at that one. Not only are you dealing with the Arsene issue, but you're finally putting yourself on an equal footing here. You want to try and get yourself back into the game as much as you can, especially when you're one game down like he is right now.
Munch in advantage right now, and almost got the percent lead as well. This is looking a lot stronger than the first game. And oh boy, Arsene's out. No, don't do it!
No! Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
And Hykonic charged that up from the very start till the very end. Charged it up like an absolute engine.
100% confident coming out. And just like that, this is, I mean, completely, we were saying about Munch having the momentum, but that's just completely gone. Managing to take the stock for up smash.
Yeah, but this is the thing, like, Munch was starting to come back, especially in that stock too. But then suddenly, that VC charge up smash comes out, and it just shifted all the way to Hyconic's favour. And since then, he's really just been taking it to the races here. That said, Munch has been doing a good job in this last stock. Obviously, finding that previous one with a good up smash. Now making a bit of a comeback here. But again, you've got to be aware that Arsene is mere moments away. You can see how close it is to him.
Pixels away, literally 1 pixel on that screen right there.
Yeah, like the tiniest little hit, or even just, there it is.
Okay, there it is. There comes that trusty back air.
Yeah, and this is where it gets real scary for Munch here. 122%, any big hit like that up there, gonna take it, and Hykonic. Wow. Moving on, 2-0 up. To be going through into that winners round 3 bracket in a very convincing style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Munch coming back there, with the right controls and stuff, but not quite yet.
Yeah,
he had a good advantage, I think. Yeah, he had a good advantage there.
Certainly, and I think as soon as Munch got himself in, that he was carrying it so far through. Mm-hmm. But it was when Hykonic just had that favour that unfortunately, he just took it to the races there. He just kept himself going. Munch wasn't really getting much chance to actually come back from it. And of course, it's difficult to know how that set could have shaped up as well if Munch had the right controls at the beginning. But it's one of those things. Remember to check your controls, kids.
that's the lesson of this whole set right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's such an important thing. You think people would know by now. Like, check your controls. It's really important for a set. And it was just a little bit too late for Munch to do anything about it game 1 because he had obviously already played out most of the game before he realised. But anyway, so that was our first set.
Looks like we're getting a Focus Miss in Chaotic 28.
My boy Focus Miss coming up to the stand here. Going to be facing off against Chaotic 28, a player who I'm not familiar with.
I am not familiar with Chaotic 28 either. Who do you think they made? Come on.
Oh, okay, we'll take a bet.
Okay, I'm thinking Chaotic. That's something to do with Sonic, right?
I was thinking the same. I must admit, I was thinking the same.
Okay.
But at the same time, a name like Chaotix, it could be like an evil character. It could be like a Ganon. Or just someone that like traditionally evil.
Okay.
Or it could be flip side, could be like Jigglypuff, I don't know.
Okay, I got it, okay. 100% Incineroar.
Oh.
Incineroar. Because you know Vector from Sonic? You know that character?
Yeah.
Yeah?
What, the crocodile?
Yeah.
Okay.
Him and I don't know if it's just me, but him and Incineroar kind of have the same vibe. You know what I'm saying? You know?
You're gonna have to explain that one to me, Jam.
I'll
How does a
explain it.
crocodile?
Watch me be totally wrong right
How
now.
does a crocodile have the same vibe as a lion?
But then, like,